welcome back to my channel, Welshman Reviews. Today we're going to be talking about the new Fast and the Furious movie, Fast 10 or Fast X, as the title shows it. And I don't know why I put myself through watching these movies anymore, to be honest. This one, to me, and if you enjoyed it, it's great, it's brilliant, you know, enjoy what you want, each to their own, as I say. But I honestly thought this movie was a very hot garbage, very much a big mess of a movie. I can't remember my apologies. I can't remember the last time I was in a cinema where I was this bored and shocked by how bad a movie was. Yeah, it's not great. So we will get on to my likes and dislikes. But first off, we'll go into the cast and crew. So first off, it is directed by Louis Leterrier, which I looked through his thing. He did Transporter 1 and 2, The Incredible Hulk, Clash of the Titans remake, you know, films like that. Most of the actors come back for this movie from the last movie. You have Vin Diesel, Michelle Rodriguez, Jordana Brewster as Mia, Vin Diesel, Dominic's sister, Ludacris, Tyrese Gibson, Natalie Emmanuel, Charlize Theron comes back. John Cena comes back as well. Helen Mirren. It is. So Scott Eastwood even comes back as well, as the guy who's in charge of, I can't remember, the agency. It is that let Dom and all that do what they can do. There are a few newcomers. So obviously the main one is Jason Momoa, who is the new villain of the story. He is the son of, I forgot his name now, Hernan Reyes. So this is kind of a thing from the fifth movie, which is arguably probably the best in the series. It is. So yeah, he comes in. So the main storyline is him getting revenge on Dom and his family for what they did to his old man. Also, a couple of other new ones in the movie is Brie Larson, who plays Tess. She is the daughter of Mr. Nobody, so Kurt Russell's character, who went missing in the last movie, if I'm not mistaken. It is. So, and Alan Richsons, who becomes the new head of the agency when Scott Eastwood's character gets put out of action. It is. So, like I said, the story is pretty much a revenge story with Jason Momoa's character getting revenge on Dominic and thing, but he's not going full out revenge, as in he's going to kill each and every one of the family. He'll get around to that, probably will, but there's a good line he says a few times in the movie. It's why give him death or something like that when you're owed suffering. So I like that line for a villain. It is, because it is one of the things, the villain's trying to kill people and all that, but this one is just trying to make Dom's family suffer. So he, kind of the first mission of the movie, you have Han, Ramsey, Taj and Roman doing a heist in Rome. But on bad intel and all that, it is Jason Momoa's character, who is Dante, his name is, who set it all up to frame him into setting off a bomb in Rome. So that's the whole movie then and all that. They're all on the most wanted list. Haven't got many allies anymore. It ain't except for Tess, who is Mr. Nobody's daughter, helps him out and that. It is. But yeah, one of the only two highlights of the movie in my eyes. I didn't mind the story. I thought it was very well bringing back a nemesis from an old movie for once more. I think they've only ever done it once, when Jason Statham's character comes into it in number 7, I want to say, or 8. I can't remember now. I've been blurred together, these movies do in the end. But, you know, taking revenge because of his brother in the previous movie. But it's good to see bringing back some of the old storylines and that, and more of the consequences later on in life for what you do in the past. So, but the only other high point, plus I have for this movie as well, is Jason Momoa. I really like this character, Dante. He's such a flamboyant character on the screen. Like, really is, like, I don't want to say campy, but he's flamboyant, he is, the way he acts and all that. But then when he needs to be vicious and calculating, he changes on a dime like that, he does. But they're the only two things. But unfortunately, even with a good story, it's not executed well in this movie. The action is very boring in my eyes. You've seen it perform better in previous movies. There's some of the green screen work in this movie is very, very poor as well. It is. Like, some of the CGI is not too bad, but the visuals in this movie is very poor. It is very poor indeed. And there is a lot of WTF moments in this movie. I was constantly rolling my eyes saying that in the cinema. It is. But, yeah. And the way they changed some of the characters. You had John Cena's character, you had him in the last movie. He was the villain. Obviously, brings him into the family like they do in most villains now these days in the Fast and Furious franchise. But in this one, the way he acts in this, it just felt really out of place. It did. He's more of a jokey kind of guy. He is, because he's babysitting Dom's son, like taking him to a rendezvous point. And that parts of the movie felt very out of place, it did. It felt more like a kid's movie at that point. It is like, that was it. That's a separate movie to what they were in. But, yeah, most of the things, the acting, Vin Diesel, yeah, it's just, family this, family that. It's, it's worse than flipping Halloween Kills when they kept saying, evil dies tonight, evil. That's all you hear from these movies now is family, family. Yeah, we know. Don't get me wrong, we know. And all, you don't have to keep on banging on and that. And we're going to get another 2 after this, because this movie does end on a cliffhanger. And the last scene of that, before they get into the mid-credit scene, I was like, really? And I knew it was going to happen. Someone was going to turn up, and you knew it. And I was like, whatever. And I'm not going to spoil it. And it's the same for the mid-credit scene. I'm not going to spoil that as well. But they were like, it really, really did bug me, this movie did, to be honest. And I'm not one for trashing a movie. If you've seen some of my reviews, even if I didn't like the movie, I try not to trash it. And I'm trying not to trash this so much. But everything in this movie was really bad, in my opinion. It is, except for the 2 points I had, like the story, but it was executed bad, and Jason Momoa's character Dante, which I really liked as well. So I'm trying to think anything else for this movie. Yes, like, don't get me wrong, some of the acting was okay as well, nothing special. I did like Charlie Theron's character, who doesn't turn good, but because Dante's character turns on her, she kind of needs help now and all. And her and Michelle Rodriguez's character does have a good little scene in the movie as well together. So I can't wait to see that. As much as I didn't like this movie, unfortunately, I will probably go and watch a Fast 11 when it comes out, because I do want to see where they go. And I'm hopefully the story gets a lot better and a bit more, I don't want to say so much grounded, but a bit more like, like Mission Impossible. That's a bit out there, but it seems a bit more grounded. If it changed a little bit to that, I think this movie would have been a lot better. It is, but yeah, overall, I did not like this. I think it's one of the worst in the franchise. And some people I've spoke to, because I did put my opinion up on a couple of forum sites on Facebook. But yeah, a few like it. Some think it's the second best one in the series. And if that's the case, great. I'm glad you really enjoyed it. But to me, I think these movies are getting too damn ridiculous now and all that. And I think they need to ground them a little bit more like the earlier movies, let's say, and that. But I'm a glutton for punishment, and I will probably go and see the next two they make, because I think Vin Diesel said this is going to be a new trilogy. But yeah, I can't give this a favourable score. It's easily probably about a 3-4 out of 10 for me. Very poor indeed, and I really don't intend on watching it anytime soon again. If you like this review, give it a thumbs up. Tell me down below what you liked about this movie. If you liked this movie, great. Tell me your reasonings behind it and all that, because I like to hear people's opinions on why they like stuff that I don't like, maybe, or what they don't like stuff that I like. So yeah, don't feel free to comment. I do get back on most of the comments, or all of the comments, sometime or another. So I would really like to hear what your opinion of this movie was. And if you'd like to see more videos, I guess, please subscribe to my channel. And I will see you next time. Bye.